So does the vessel move under its own power, or do we have to like pull it along?
You've kind of been riding the inflow to this point, but you're on the other side of this line that I've drawn.
Oh, okay.
This is this valve, and every few seconds it kind of opens, no bigger than one of your fists in the center, and you feel the rush of fluid into it. It will open wider, but the mechanism to do that, you have no idea how to.
Do we need somebody to hit it with a quarterstaff?
Ekon, you're the doctor. What happens if we like cut through the fleshy walls, just go straight to the evil things?
I think that would be a very bad idea. I don't have to be a doctor to know that.
We're in a blood vessel, right?
Well, you went in through the butt.
Okay.
So you traveled through the intestines. And presumably you're at the end of the intestines. Or an end. Or you got sucked into one of the other transport systems of the body. It's hard to say. All you know for sure is where these... Did I get all 8 of these points? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I got all 8.
Because, I mean, there's a point, like, right here, and Victor points to the wall and says, can't we just cut through to it?
I wouldn't.
If you want to kill him, I don't.
Yeah, Ekon will, like, put his hand against this membrane and just sort of, like, give it a bit of a shove.
Against
see how it responds.
The valve in the body or the membrane of the brown note?
Valve.
Okay. And yeah, it feels like just this... There's some give to it. It feels like a wall of muscle tissue. Not dissimilar to... like if you've ever played around with... Like prepared a cow's stomach or something for cooking. It feels extremely strong, but it has give and push to it.
Question, because this might become relevant. What is the visibility from inside the vessel?
There are 2 portholes, one on either side. If only 1 or 2 people are in there, you have pretty good visibility out the front and back. When all 6 of you are crammed in there, not so much. 2 of you are lucky enough to be sitting with your face pressed up against one of the portholes.
And does the vessel have... does it have its own propulsion, or does it have a thing that I can hold on to it if it's traveling?
Either one.
On the outside.
You can either move it from the inside, or you guys can just kind of drag it along as you go.
Okay.
All right, well, I guess Jeannie's driving.
As far as gravity is, you do feel the downward pull, but it's not always the same direction as the organs in Zakwheel's body twist and move around each other. But you also feel this not unpleasant, just kind of floating. You don't have to put your feet on the ground if you don't want to. Hovering in place inside just the sloshing fluids of the man's body. It's not exactly like being underwater, but it's not that either. It's very, very unlike anything you've ever done.
Like
I kind of reach a potato arm through the small opening in this and try and like push outward to like try and make it what's the opposite of contract?
Expand.
Expand?
So yeah,
I guess make the opening expand, yeah.
And your hand kind of gets sucked into it with the fluid, and it contracts around your arm, and it feels kind of like one of those, like you're getting your blood pressure tested. Well, you can feel the pressure on your arm, but it's not painful, and you're not in any danger. And you're certainly strong enough to wriggle your arm free if you so choose. Yeah, with enough force, you could wrench this open and squeeze through.
Hey, Victor, how does this compare to being trapped in the ooze?
You know, I feel like the ooze was a little cleaner.
Ekon's gonna knock on the outside of the vessel. Orson, get out here. He's gonna swim to the back. Can we, like, swim in this?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I'll swim to the back and hang on.
Functionally, you guys have the same movement you normally do, but you functionally have the hover property. You don't have to be pinned to the floor if you don't want to. Being upside down, attached to, like, the ceiling or a wall is not as disorienting as it would be in a standard dungeon.
Genie is going to summon a turret.
Oh, and it summons the actual full-size turret, and his guts explode. Game over.
Return of Ganon.
I mean,
Orson, see if we can force that open from the inside. I don't know that I'm strong enough.
So you kind of gingerly.
Just put your fingers along each side and pull outward, and I'll cast a cast a guidance on him.
And Orson, he's very aware that he's pulling open the inside of this gentleman. But that doesn't even require a strength check. I mean, it takes some effort, but he can make the hole wide enough that he could squeeze the fishbowl he's wearing through it. So are we going through right here?
Are you gonna pulse the turret?
No, a better option.
And with a slurping sound, he gives a shrug and is on the other side.
Wait
Well,
for
we
Oh,
you.
can
have
you
the
get it
big-
wide enough for the ship to get through? We only have 30 feet
Yeah.
of hose.
As soon as he goes through, the thing contracts around the center of his hose.
We can force the ship through. Eugenia, are you just gonna summon the turret, or are you gonna use it?
No, it's on top of the.
It's riding the brown nose.
Yeah, but
It's just right at the top
are you
of
gonna
the-
pulse it before Victor goes wandering off on his own?
I mean,
You can
Yeah.
only go so far, Victor. You can't really wander off on your own.
right. I'll roll. We'll say that it. Everybody gets 10 hit points. We'll just pulse it once.
Okay.
Yeah,
Victor's-
Edmont slides around to make sure that it's not contracting around and pinching off the hoses.
Actually, that's 11 hit points. I forgot. +5.
In general, as long as you're within 6 squares of the brown note, you do not have to worry about anything bad happening to your hose. Unless I have a monster or a trap or something specifically targeted.
Evie, do you think you and I can work together to get this thing wide enough to get the ship through?
As long as I don't think too hard about what we're doing.
So
My
yeah,
strength
Ekon,
is terrible. You might not want me to be the one doing
And
it.
Edmont, you're managing the hoses while we do this, right?
Sure.
making sure they don't get all tangled up. So yeah, working
Eugenia
together, this might be the single most bizarre task this group has ever undertaken. But it's not even particularly difficult. The vessel itself has lots of round edges on the outside, so once you get a corner through, this fleshy wall just kind of gives way and sucks the whole thing through. The actual muscles contracting the valve do a lot of the work for you.
Fortunately, this is to his brain, and we've given him an aneurysm, and he's dead now.
On the other
So sad.
side is one of the grossest rooms.
What is this Jabu's belly looking ass room?
I love this. I've had this map for years.
Well, you're welcome.
I had a scrapped adventure where you guys were going to go inside of a Terrask. I had your boat getting swallowed by a whale at one point. I just never had a good place to use.
Oh, so this is like leftovers from like the first campaign, huh?
I think this is leftovers from Planescape, actually.
What are these terrible toothed contractions in this cavern?
Everything in this cavern is actually the right word for it. I'm going to use a different color for the valves, I think, so they're easier to see against the red. How does that look?
that looks
That's pretty good.
beautiful.
Yep, that is easy to see.
Okay.
Genie is not getting out of the vessel.
That is
unless
probably a wise move.
somebody's got to drive this fool.
Everything here is in motion. And then you see these bones jutting out of the walls. You see these large mounds in the center of the room, opening and closing, clattering together, presumably leading off to other parts of the body. Beneath your feet, you see these huge blood vessels just pulsing with activity, rhythmically, along with Zaquil's heartbeat. The rhythm of the place is pervasive. No matter where you go, it's like the whole environment works off of the same pulse that's very regular, and in other circumstances might even be soothing.
Nothing about this place is soothing.
There
Well, we
is-
got to ping down off this direction, so this would seem to be the logical first place to go, yes?
the center
Well,
of
we
the
know
room
there's
here has a large structure in the middle from which a large amount of heat is radiating.
We'll examine that structure and point at one of the evil things beyond it on these two other valves.
Yeah, and you see other valves to the north and south, and then several more blocking off the back half of this area.
Doesn't feel natural. Like, Ekon, this isn't what the inside of my ass looks like, right?
Well, I don't know that we're still inside the ass, but probably similar.
I feel like Bones shouldn't be here. This dude is really sick.
I don't know what anymore.
I'm also not entirely sure what our scale is right now. Those are blood vessels.
Well, this was supposedly about the size of a grain of rice.
Again,
We're-
I'm not a biology major.
We're just gonna
Please
have to,
feel free to publish on RPG horror stories like, our DM sent us in a body and didn't get the biology exactly right.
Your Steam ID name that's up at the top right of all of our screens clearly says Dr. Brickroad.
Yeah, that's a lie.
So a capillary is about 8 to 10 microns.
I don't know what a micron is. You guys are just gonna have to roll with this.
But at any rate, I will point out, mostly meat.
So I guess Victor is fascinated by these bone things because they just don't look right.
So Victor, if you're looking down into one, suddenly it kind of vomits into your face, this stream of brackish bubbles and fluids splattering all against your fishbowl. When he looks back up at the rest of you, you just see this dark, oily, viscous material blinding the outside. He has to reach up and wipe it off.
Where are we?
Same room we were 5 minutes ago.
Is this hot enough to damage me as I come over towards it?
No, you guys, it's uncomfortably hot, but the structure itself doesn't reach all the way up to... ceiling's the wrong word, but what's the right word? Up to the ceiling.
Edmont yanks on Ekon's tube because
You
you're pretty
guys
far
are
away.
getting too far. You gotta stay within 6 feet or 6 spaces.
I'm at 6.
So at this range, Victor and Ekon's tubes are taut behind them.
Bring the ship up.
Yeah, I could do that.
Moving the ship from the inside or outside is effortless, whichever way you want to do it.
Well, Genie wants to stay inside and be the captain, which that's fine.
But yeah, Ekon, you would not even have to climb up to this structure to see where the heat is coming from. You can just kind of float on up.
Yeah, so what do I see looking down on it?
Let's roll some initiative.
Sure.
Here's my DMing pro tip for the week. It's a lot easier to roll initiative if you remember to get your dice out.
This has been DM Pro Tips from Brickroad.
Yeah, it's easier to play D&D when you got dice.
You could just roll the dice on the table like the rest of us.
I do roll my dice on the table.
See, he just did it.
No, he's on 15. Are you on 5, Evie?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go after you.
Ekon, floating up to the top of the structure and looking down, the illumination is coming from these bulbous protrusions on the top. That the heat that they're giving off is also giving off a small amount of light. Like they're glowing here in the center of the bloodstream. And at first you think it might be like an irritation or a polyp of some kind or a foreign body. But just as you're about to start speculating, 5 of them break off and grow outward from the center mass. These fleshy protrusions that underneath the big cap portion have what can only be described as sharp, writhing claws. And who's at the top of my order?
We've got Edmont with Orson on deck.
Edmont, fix it.
Mont takes a swing.
I'm going to assume Edmont reinforced the knuckles on his potato
Yeah.
fluffs.
Yeah.
It's gonna be real fun when Edmont switches to werewolf mode in this dungeon.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing too. Don't worry, Brick Road. I've got that thought in my head. Don't worry.
Okay.
That's an 18 to hit.
An 18 will hit.
Uh, 8 points bludgeoning damage.
For 8 points.
Yep.
Okay.
And we'll do it again for the next attack. How about a 12?
12 will not hit.
Okay. Bonus action, martial arts. About a 17.
17 will hit.
7 points bludgeoning damage.
For 7 points.
Yep, to this one.
Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Punching this thing, it's got its very spongy consistency to it. You're used to fighting things that have flesh and muscle, and this thing is living tissue, but it almost has the consistency of like a mass of fungus that you used to see, like punching the big caps that grow on trees or something. And the impact of your blow, you can feel it absorb quite a bit of it. And the feeling of fighting something this alien, it's a new kind of experience. However, your blows do land, and the ones that hit were effective.
Sure.
And you now have the thing's attention. Are you moving or staying put?
Good here.
Okay.
Got Orson with Victor on deck.
Orson is going to
Swim up and harpoon it.
Yep. Basically. Okay. Attack 1.
Does the harpoon get a bonus underwater?
It
No.
should, but it doesn't.
That is.
Do non-piercing weapons have a penalty underwater?
Actually, I think they
They
might.
do, but I won't apply them in this dungeon.
Okay.
It's enough like water that you guys get to swim around, but it's dissimilar enough from water that I'm not going to worry about tracking penalties.
That is a 17 to hit.
That'll hit. It's the same one that Edmont just attacked?
It's whatever this one next to Edmont is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then do that one, yep.
Okay, so I need a d6. 9 points.
Okay.
Here. Second attack.
And that first one is bloodied.
22 to hit
That'll hit.
for 11 points. And swing around with the butt for a 25 to hit.
Well, I mean, you came in the butt. That's...
Waiting for that so much.
The
He's
25 to
been
hit.
waiting for that so hard.
Yeah, 25 will hit. I do kind of resent Treble for ruining my butt cheeks akimbo reveal. Like, that was going to be fun for me.
Pository is the obvious thing.
It is. It really is.
9 points.
For 9 more points. Okay.
So that was 9, 11, and 9.
And parts of this cap or this pustule are breaking open, and as the fluids on the inside leak out, it's just making bizarre clouds hang in the air, and it's just a reminder that you're not in an airy environment here. There's not going to be blood splatter against the walls or the floor. The thing's not dead, but it's gravely injured at this point.
That's
Got,
the worst, sir.
Victor with Ekon on deck.
So, right next to this thing. Right, let's see. We will start off. So the one next to Edmont's not entirely dead yet, correct?
Not yet. It's very badly bloodied.
Alright, well, we are going to attack that one. So first thing we're going to do bonus action to Hunter's Mark. The one next to Victor.
Okay.
And then we are going to fling a psionic dagger at the one next to Orson and see what that does.
Okay.
Does a 15 hit?
15 will hit.
You know the nice thing about leveling a rogue? You get an extra sneak attack dice.
How many are you up to?
6.
I'm only at 4.
It's because multi-classing is a trap.
Well, when I attack, I can add all of his sneak attack dice to my attack.
What does 30 points of psionic damage do to the one that's gravely wounded?
It kills it. And is Victor moving or staying put?
I know it's gonna invoke an attack, but Victor's gonna move.
Okay.
So we're in a 3-dimensional environment.
Oh, yeah, more or less.
Okay, then Victor is going to go. He's going to go about 10 feet above Edmont.
Okay, so you're kind of have your back and legs pressed up against the ceiling above Edmont?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this isn't a cavernous structure, Ewan. You've probably got maybe 12 feet of clearance or so above him. So you can get up above Edmont. But I'm going to take a swing at you as you go.
Yeah.
As the thing lashes out once with one of its wicked claws. I have an 18 to hit.
Oh, god damn you, that hits.
Okay. So it's going to be 8 points of slashing damage. Plus 9 points of poison damage.
Okay, I'm going to use my uncanny dodge to reduce... So can I reduce the whole thing in half or just the slashing?
Add those together and then reduce the whole shebang in half.
Okay.
Because that was all 2 types of damage, but only from one source.
8 points of damage.
As the thing lashes out at you as you just kick your feet away from it. Now, are you going to be above Edmund on this square, or are you clambering up to the top of this mound where the teeth are?
I'd be above Edmond where he is, but I can't, like, stack the characters.
Why not? There, just that's
Hey,
fine.
there we go.
You're just above, like, we can't see Edmund anymore. That's great. We know he's under there.
Not that important anyway.
Anyway, Edmont's my favorite. Is that it for Victor?
Yeah.
Who's next?
Ekon. So Ekon is going to level his staff at these creatures. You hear a holy incantation of air echo across the tube, and then everything in that cube needs to make a DC 17 dexterity saving throw as golden, radiant motes of sunlight erupt within the body.
This is probably fine to do doing something inside somebody's organs. I'm looking for a DC 17 dex save.
Yep.
I have one pass. I'll let you choose which one passed.
Let's say this one passed. The rest of them are fairy fired.
Okay, then everybody's fairy fired.
Ekon will coast back behind Orson. As a bonus action, let's go ahead and I need a DC 17 strength save from this one.
Okay. That's a fail.
And it's telekinetically pushed away. That's
On
the
the
end of
outside.
Ekon's turn. We've got
Zaquiel passes gas and this cloud of fairy fire just boots out.
Evie with creatures on deck.
Evie, fix it.
There's Sedgwick. He just pooped. Gold dust.
Okay, Victor, you used your reaction, so I can't give you an attack, and no one else I think has a creature in range that they can attack.
How did Victor use his reaction? Oh,
Uncanny dodge.
on his turn. Okay.
That should attack.
Oh, that's okay.
You have advantage against all the ones except the one I pushed.
Yeah. I'll just throw a knife at that one,
Okay.
and then this is an advantage, right?
Yeah, it's fairy fire.
Yeah, it's very fired.
All right, so is a 17 enough to hit?
Yes, it is.
All right, now I roll a whole bunch of dice.
Not as much as Victor, though.
No, but a lot. More than I usually do. And that's going to be 25 points of magical piercing damage.
Okay. A fair amount. Is Evie moving or staying put?
I mean, I'll stay here. I can't do much with my bonus action right now. Because I can't use poisons. And I can't... They all already have advantage against...
Well,
yeah, that's the end of Evie's turn.
You can pout as a bonus action. I'll allow it.
Nah.
Got creatures with Genie on deck.
Okay. Creatures are fun. When the creatures move, they all move at exactly the same time, with exactly the same rhythmic pulsing as the body around you.
Are there flagellation?
White blood cells.
Evie, Victor, Edmont, and Orson, please make a Constitution saving throw. DC is
This is
I
a
think
poison?
Orson does have a reaction.
oh, he does, yeah.
Yeah.
No, one of them did enter his threat range for Polar Mastery, and it's fairy
That is-
fired.
Yeah, that is a 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
It's 10 points of damage on this one.
Okay.
Burkhardt, would you classify this as a poison?
No.
Okay. That is a natural 20 on Orson's saving throw, whatever it is.
Okay.
You said Constitution?
Constitution.
Well, that's 22 or 23 or something like that.
Evie failed.
Evie
It's a
failed.
13 for Victor.
How'd Edmont do? Did Edmont pass?
Yeah, I'm just looking at something. Yeah, no, yeah.
These creatures
Pass.
flow in towards you with the same rhythm as the bodies pulsing and breathing around you. And each one of them, from its body, releases this cloud of spores out into the environment that clings onto your suit and onto your helmet and makes this bizarre kind of film. All four of you are blinded. You're going to have to take an action to scrape it off of your helmet if you want to be able to see. In addition, Evie, it hardens around your body, your torso, and your arms to the point that you are incapacitated until you spend a round using a strength check or having somebody else use a strength check to free you from the goop. You're just kind of floating there inert. And that's it for them. Who's next?
After creatures, we've got Genie with Edmont on deck.
Is Genie still in the machine?
Yeah, I am still in the machine.
Okay.
He has the right idea.
Genie is going to... How far above the quote-unquote ground are these guys?
So this big illuminated mound, Ekon kind of floated up maybe 10 feet or so to get a look at it, and that's when they broke apart and are starting to swarm and clamber down the sides of it. So
The reason
no
I-
higher than 10 feet.
Okay, the reason I ask is I was thinking about using the create bonfire spell, but it specifically says it has to be on the ground.
Oh, I'm sorry, 10 microns or whatever.
10 microns. Yeah, I guess Genie is going to just try to hit one of them with a create bonfire spell.
Okay.
Whichever one is the closest to the ground.
I'll let you pick.
Yeah.
Any of the 4 of them will work. It's fine.
Okay, this one.
Okay.
I need a dexterity saving throw, please. Your DC is 17.
I have an 11.
Okay, he is going to take... What is that? 3d8, 48. And so I need to get some d8s out. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And this is actually fire damage, right? This is not radiant damage?
It is fire damage, but it is a persistent effect that I'm immediately going to end concentration on. So it's
Okay.
not like 16 points.
16?
Yep.
Genie, your
Yep.
intent is to create this bonfire, but you're thinking like leaving the bonfire burning on this man's stomach tissue or wherever you are is a bad idea. So the plan is burn the creature and then immediately end concentration on the spell.
Right.
Before you even get a chance to break your concentration, the environment around you just snuffs out the flame. It dealt some damage to the creature, but functionally, creatures are going to have resistance to fire damage in this environment.
I mean, that's better than me not being able to do anything. I mean, so I'm going to pulse the turret.
Okay.
And Jeannie says to herself, like, as she's working the controls, she's like, I really should have put the actual cannon on top.
It would be so cool.
If you have less than 8 temporary hit points, AV, Victor, and Edmont, you now have 8 temporary hit points. Orson and Ekon are a little too far.
All right, who's next?
Got Edmont with Orson on deck.
Edmont, you are blind until you or someone else takes an action to wipe off your helmet.
Mm. Yeah, I'll take that action.
Okay.
They're fairy fired.
You know what? You're right.
3 of them are.
Non-cipher bonus. I'm going to take some swings. Does a 23 hit
Sure does.
against this one that is next to me and below Victor?
That's the one that just like farted in your face.
Yep. Looking at 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Second attack. Even better. It's a 27 to hit
That'll hit.
for 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
And he is bloodied.
Yeah, let's take a key point in flurry.
I'm using bloodied here in the game mechanics sense, because technically everything in this environment is bloodied all the time.
True. I believe it.
Plasmid.
Yeah.
Plasmid. Right.
24 to hit. No, I'm sorry, 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
Punching and kicking for 7 points bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
One more. Ooh. That's an 11 to hit.
11 does not hit.
Yeah. They get 3 good blows in on it.
The last kick goes wide. Moving or staying put?
Stay put,
Okay.
because I am content right where I'm at.
Victor's just kind of spinning in space above you.
I've got Orson with Victor on deck.
Orson is blinded until he or someone else takes an action to wipe his helmet clean.
Well, again, they're fairy fired.
Yes, they are.
That is a 26 to hit
That'll do it.
for 6 points on the same one that this one.
Yeah, he's looking pretty wretched.
So that's 6. Second hit is a 20
20 will hit.
for 7 points. The butt is a natural 1.
All right, the butt misses. Is Orson moving or staying put?
Now Orson's staying, but he can't see where he's going.
That's true. Who's next?
Got Victor with Ekon on deck.
Victor, you are also blinded until you or somebody else takes an action to clean your helmet off.
Yeah, thank God they're fairly far next to people, though.
Yeah, but you still have disadvantage.
Yeah, so you can't get sneak attack.
I know, you people suck. I figured flying up in the air would be far enough away, but apparently not.
Nope.
They can fly too.
They have the same movement.
We all
abilities
can fly.
as you guys. There were 4 of them, and I was able to target all 4 of you. Ekon's the only one without spooge all over his head.
I think the only problems wrong with that sentence are flying up in air.
Right. That's true.
So I gotta use my full action to take that crap off. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess Victor will use his full action to unblind himself so he can be useful.
Okay.
And since they're all... So is Victor up in the air far enough away from this one next to him where if he moves, he can avoid the opportunity attack? Or is
No,
he
if you
within
move
the
from
fight?
that square, you will trigger 2 opportunity attacks.
Okay,
You're inside
then
2
we're
threat
gonna-
ranges.
Then we're going to bonus action to disengage.
Okay. And he
If we're going to
floats
go on,
back
on
over the
top
ground.
of the... Yeah, we're going to go on top of the brown note.
So Genie, the whole vessel jostles as Victor comes down on top of it.
Next to the turret.
Okay, who's next?
And we will wait for Evie to give me the word.
So Ekon is going to try something.
Sure.
He's going to level his staff and hope that the goop encompassing my allies' helmets consists of less than 10 gallons of water and casts Destroy Water.
Okay. So that's encompassing all 3 of them in front of you?
Yeah. It's a 30-foot cube, so plenty of range.
Draw me out the cube that you're affecting here.
Well, it's 10 gallons of water within this cube. The cube is monster. It's a 30-foot cube. But yeah, let's do it. I mean, I can only affect 10 gallons of water within the cube.
Let's just assume that the effects of your spells are also shrunk down.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, even at this scale, like a 30-foot cube in this room is
Right.
my choice of
Something
10
like
gallons
that.
of water within that volume.
So your choice. You're not destroying all the water in this volume.
No.
Just okay.
I can only destroy 10 gallons of water per cast unless I upcast it. So I'm trying to get the...
trying to clean off their helmets, their glass
Yep,
helmets.
I'm hoping that the ink on their helmets constitutes less than 10 total gallons of water.
You're not going to destroy the water in the
I'll
body
tell
of
you
the
what.
creatures?
Evie, Edmont, and Orson. How do I want to do this? This is fun. Let's call it a Constitution saving throw, each of you.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's a 7 for Orson.
6.
The 9 for Evie.
So, Ekon, I've got good news and bad news.
Yeah.
The good news is the spell works as intended. You destroy the water in and around the areas around their helmet, thinking that you can clean off the gunk that's preventing them from seeing. That part works. The part you weren't counting on was the rush of fluid inward to fill the vacuum crashes into their helmets from all sides, jostling their heads, and their ears ring on the inside as the pressure differential something science words. I'm going to say the 3 of you are deaf until the end of your next round.
Okay.
As your ears are ringing, and the impact of the fluid didn't damage the helmet at all. Like, no one's experiencing cracks. That might be the first time I've ever applied the deaf condition in a combat.
Now that did not remove the film that is incapacitating me, only the stuff that was blinding me.
Only what was blinding you, yes.
Okay.
And then as a bonus action, I am going to get a Strength DC 17 save from this one.
That's a fail.
And telekinetically push it, so if it swims up to Orson, he can skewer it.
Good. And you're moving your
At the end of Ekon's turn, got, I'm fine here. We've got Evie with red token on deck.
Evie, You're incapacitated, so you can't take actions or reactions, but you have nothing restricting your movement, as far as I know.
And I still use bonus actions.
No.
Okay.
You can just kind of float around.
Okay, well, do I need to make a strength check, or does that have at the end of my
That
turn?
would be an action.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you need somebody's help to get you out of that. But you can move if you want.
That would trigger a lot of attacks.
Genie's
You
pounding
can't-
on the. Genie pounds on the.
You can't shout at Victor to attack.
No,
the
that's an
phone
action.
section.
That's an action. Evie's incapacitated.
All I can do is move.
Plus, Victor couldn't hear her.
No, Victor's not deaf. Victor wiped the stuff off.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, I guess Genie pounding on the window. Evie wouldn't see her.
Oh, I can see now. I just can't hear.
Right.
Yeah, because I can't disengage, I'm going to take 2 attacks if I try to move. So I guess I'm just going to stay here.
Okay, so Evie's kind of rotating in space, encased in this goopy cocoon.
Thinking about her life choices once again.
It's like, a week ago I was at home, everything was going great. I knighted some people. Like, had a...
Got a red token with Evie on deck. Or, I'm sorry, with Genie on deck.
Alright, well, I was planning to use your blindness to not take a bunch of attacks of opportunity here, but I see that's not going to work now. So, Edmont, you get 1 against this guy.
Sure.
That's the one... No, that's not the bloodied one. He's not quite bloodied yet. Ekon pushed the bloodied one away.
Yeah.
This is the bloodied one.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that opportunity to attack.
Okay.
13 to hit.
13 does not hit.
Yo, fire.
Right.
I haven't dropped concentration.
You're right. Let's make that instead a 24.
That'll hit.
No one said no fireballs. This is what I'm reduced to.
I literally said no fireballs.
10 points bludgeoning damage to that,
That
guy
one
as he
is-
leaves with threat range.
Is bloodied. And Orson's going to get a swing on this guy.
Right.
Very fire.
Okay. Yeah, that's a 28.
That'll hit.
7 points.
Okay. Evie.
Uh-huh.
I don't have advantage to attack an incapacitated person.
No, my movement is not impaired at all.
Okay, I gotta roll a whole bunch of d4s. Evie, I've got a 17 to hit,
That hits.
and I've got a 12 to hit.
That does not hit.
Okay, first monster, first attack. 9 points of slashing damage,
Ow.
plus 6 points of poison damage.
So I do not have a reaction.
Do not have a reaction.
Okay.
Second monster. I have a 9 to hit,
No.
and I have a 24 to hit.
Yes.
Okay, it's going to be 12 points of slashing damage,
Ow.
plus 11 points of poison damage.
Ow.
Third monster. I have a 21 to hit,
That hits.
and a 23 to hit.
That hits. I think this is the end of Evie, you guys.
You say that every week.
9 points of slashing damage,
Mm-hmm.
plus 11 points of poison damage.
You
Are
did have.
Are you at 0 yet? There's only one monster
No,
left.
I'm at 22.
So I can't kill you this round.
You did have 10 hit points going into this.
I did. They're gone.
I've got a natural 1, and then a 7 to hit on the last
No,
creature.
those do not hit.
And it becomes very apparent very quickly that these creatures are just mindlessly drawn to only attacking something that they've encased in their goo. They have completely ignored the rest of you and are surrounding Evie and just slashing outwards with these bizarre fungal claws. Evie, you're having a bad day. You have, what, 20 hit points left?
22.
Oh, I should have spawned more of these guys in. Who's next?
After that, we've got Genie with Edmont on deck.
This is honestly a pretty normal day for Evie.
Whenever we go, no, a normal day is we're at home. This is just your life when we adventure. You're
Yeah.
not a very good adventurer.
Surely not. This happens to me everywhere we go.
You're not a good adventurer. You're not a good detective. What are you good at?
She's a good complainer.
Question: the tethers. Are they ropes or are they like air tubes?
They're hoses that you guys are breathing through, basically.
Oh, okay. The reason I ask is I was going to vortex warp Evie, but like, will that sever the hose?
You don't know until you try it. There's no way to know that beforehand. And it got very quiet.
I mean, you could teleport me inside the machine.
There's air, like the air. So, is the ship pressurized as well, or is it is it like we're in a suit in a boat that's also full of liquid?
No, there's no liquid inside of the vessel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
there's a
teleport her
membrane.
into the.
There's a membrane on the outside that prevents that.
Right. Yeah. She's in the vessel now.
Okay. So Evie, you get vortex warped inside the vessel. And it's a good thing you were, because you're still wearing the suit, but looking out through the porthole, you see your disconnected hose just flapping around on the other side of the window.
Is there some way I could shut off the air going out there?
Yeah, you can do that from the inside. I'm not going to worry about
I'll do
tracking.
Good.
But Evie's going to have to be reconnected to her hose on the inside of the ship.
Yeah,
I
we
can cast Mending.
It wouldn't even require amending. You just kind of have to plug it back in and reapply the
Oh,
fix.
okay.
Oh, okay. I also pulse the thing if so this goes to Evie as well. Evie, it looks like Evie, Victor, and Edmont get this. Well, me as well, but I probably got
So Evie is still gooped up by the...
right. You know what? She's fine. She's safe right there. She's fine. She can't get into any trouble. If you got less than 7 temp hit points, you got 7 temp hit points. But Evie can't. Well, she can still go places.
Genie's staying put.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm fine here.
Got Edmont with Orson on deck.
Why are these marked like F and FB? Oh.
Fairy fired and bloodied.
Okay.
I think one of them else is bloodied, but I didn't catch which one.
I think blubbing into this one, into the middle of this, is probably a bad call, but I can probably take 1, maybe 2 down.
I mean, 2 of them are bloodied, and one of them is severely bloodied. The one on the corner there.
Yeah, that one. I'm gonna take a swing at that one first.
Okay.
That is a 12 to hit.
12 will not hit.
Did you roll?
I did not roll at an advantage because I'm a dum-dum. Did I say 12? I actually meant 26.
I can see how you get those confused. They're like basically
Yeah.
the same number.
10 points bludgeoning damage to that bloody one.
That's enough. You punch that one into sponge cake.
Let me get this second D20 out just to remind myself that Fairy Fire is in play.
2
Yeah, I'm going to go
Two
for
of
that
these
one.
remaining guys are fairy fired.
Yeah, I'm going to go for that one.
Okay.
With my extra attack. Looking at a 15 to hit.
That'll hit.
Uh, 5 points bludgeoning damage to that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to throw another key point onto this. Let's go ahead and flurry of blows.
Sure.
Take that one.
Got so robbed. It's a 20 to hit. Dirty 20.
That'll hit still.
5 points bludgeoning damage.
This man throws a 20, says he was robbed.
It was almost a nat 20. And that second attack, it's an 18 to hit.
Also hits.
For 7 points bludgeoning damage. Edmont just punching like a bad man.
Okay, yeah, that one is now bloodied.
Got Orson with Victor if you don't have anything else.
Is Edmont staying put?
Yeah, I'm good here.
Orson approaches and goes to assist.
Okay.
That is a crit from Orson
Whoops. That's not good.
for 15 points of magical piercing.
Against the south one there?
Yeah, the south one.
Okay.
Oh, that's not enough? Oh, darn.
No, he's still up.
That is a 25 to hit, 26 to hit
Also hits.
for an additional 7 points.
Okay. Yeah, very badly bloodied.
Okay, the butt. That's a 20 to hit, a dirty 20.
Highly recommend a polearm master fighter if anybody hasn't played.
Yeah,
them.
it's really good.
They're a lot of fun.
Sticks.
Does Orson crit on a 19?
Yes, he does, and I did.
Okay, just don't forget the fairy fires.
Oh no, I didn't. I forgot the
Okay.
fairy fires. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No. No additional crits.
So that
But
one's
yeah,
still
that's-
alive, but only just.
Yeah, so that.
Got Victor with Ekon.
So that south one is really badly injured. The one north of Edmont is really badly injured.
Yes, and then the other one the one that's not fairy fired hasn't been attacked at all. It's just kind of
Okay.
been shoved around a little bit.
Well, then, since it's been 2 years, Victor is going to change his damage type to... Oh, what's a fun one?
Go for ice.
Yeah, let's try cold.
Okay.
And then we're going to attack this beautiful fairy-fired target.
Which one? The one north of Edmont or north of Orson?
The one that has not been injured yet.
That's not fairy-fired.
That was not fairy fired.
That one is not very fired.
Oh, it's not?
Nope.
You still
That's,
get
the F,
sneak.
that's what the F's mean.
That's
Still
fine.
you still get sneak attack on it. It's just
Yeah.
not.
Well, it's more I want to have to use a sniper, right? Does a 19 hit?
Sure does.
Okay. So that's going to be 33, and if it's vulnerable, what, 66?
That's enough to kill it in one hit. I mean, the thing just freezes solid and then cracks apart. And the pieces of it just kind of start floating away and melting in the viscous environment. Victor, moving or staying put?
They flow to his
He's gonna
brain,
stay-
give him an
he's gonna stay
aneurysm,
put.
and he dies.
Who's next?
Ekon? So, first I'm going to need a DC 17 strength save from this one.
That's a fail.
And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then I'm going to need DC 17 Constitution saves from each of them as Ekon branches his staff and radiant light expands away around him in all
Is
directions.
it a 17?
Yeah, on con.
Both pass.
Okay, that's a cantrip, so it doesn't do anything.
Blood cells have good con saves, apparently.
That is the end of Ekon's turn. We've got Evie with blood cells on deck.
The Eevee rolls around on the ground and does nothing else.
Yep. Sounds about
How you
right.
doing down there, Evie?
This isn't the worst time I've had being stuck inside someone else.
What if you get swallowed by a monster while on this adventure? Then you've been double swallowed.
Yeah,
Double-
that's
Sounds like we've got
fair
blood cells with Genie.
All right. Let's have Ekon and Edmont please make me a Constitution saving throw.
You got it.
You got it, boss.
The con save
Looking for 13.
17.
Edmont failed.
Edmont failed. So you're both blinded by the spore clouds, one from each of them, And Edmont, you are encased in this gooey cocoon and incapacitated until somebody else breaks you free. And
Sure.
both of the creatures turn their attention towards you next. Who's next?
Genie with Edmont.
Edmont. Oop, nope. Edmont, you're in the brown net
Yeah.
now.
So you vortex warp Edmont inside.
Yep, I'll just take that off of my massive pile of vortex warps.
So 3 of you in there, and now you've got 2 hoses on the outside, just kind of flopping and flailing around. 3 of you being inside the machine is about its capacity, at which point everybody in there can comfortably move and act without any issue.
I mean,
If you-
I just. I'm not gonna put anybody. I just but to be fair, I also just piled Edmont on top of Evie.
Sure, as you do. Even though there are seats right there.
Right.
There's
They're
3
in the-
seats
they're-
in
I
there.
think they were both piled into the co-pilot's seat.
They're in the under seat containers, just like luggage.
How you doing?
Today, Edmund?
Better.
Is that it for Genie?
She's going to pulse the turret
Okay.
just because I can. And she says to herself, "I really need to put the cannon on top." That's 9. If you have less than 10 points of temporary hit points, and your name is not Orson or Ekon, you have 10 temporary hit points.
Got Ekon with Orson. I'm sorry, not Ekon. Edmont with Orson.
Edmont's incapacitated.
Struggle,
in
struggle.
the machine.
So Orson with Victor.
Orson goes up, and this one right here.
He's pretty badly wounded, yes.
All right. Attack 1.
Can Orson be the guy right here?
That's a 14.
That will not hit.
With Fairy
Okay.
Fire?
That's a nat 1 for the second hit, for the advantage hit. So no, 14.
14 does
Okay.
not hit.
Second hit. 29.
That'll hit.
Yeah, I would hope so. That's 10 points.
That's enough. So Orson spears that one through the torso? Question mark? And one
The
remains.
mitochondria.
You sever some of its flagellum.
It's just like,
Don't
it's,
say
it's
it.
no longer the powerhouse of itself.
No.
The butt is a crit against this last one.
Oof.
So that's 2 plus 5 plus
Critical
10.
butt.
Yeah, it's 10 additional points.
Yeah, he's very badly bloodied now. Another round like that will be the end of him.
Got Victor with Ekon.
Victor, can you be the guy right here?
I hope so.
You do get advantage on this. He is fairy fired.
Oh, yeah, let's transfer the Hunter's Mark to him. And then, for the bonus action, then we'll attack him.
Okay.
Does it dirty 20 hold?
Yeah, 20 will hit.
Counting them d6s. I saw you.
I mean, that's one.
He needs to count them. There's so many.
Oof.
That's 36 points of cold damage.
And that's enough.
When you get to be like a 14 or 15th level rogue, and then you get a crit, you're literally just taking the entire bag of dice and throwing them across the table.
You have to get in the car and drive down to the game store and buy more dice. Where Orson
This
is
is why I keep a
positioned,
pound on tap.
I mean, these large pustules broke free as Ekon climbed up on top of that mass. And Orson can see thousands and thousands of similar pustules spread across the top of this mass, slowly growing in size, but none of them are large enough, as anywhere near as large as the creatures you just fought. And with a little bit of effort, you're able to rip Edmont's and Evie free of their cocoons.
Well,
Was this the most ridiculous combat I've ever run?
Yeah,
It's top 5, I think.
it's pretty
to-
bonkers.
to be fair, this combat does have a barrel ship named the Brown Note in it.
Okay, I am 95% sure that that my ass does not have things like that in it.
Well, when you turn 45 and get a colonoscopy, you'll know.
So why don't we take
All
a
right,
break here
so
while we all think of our life choices that have led us to this moment, adventuring. So go ahead and get your coffee and get your bagel. We'll reconvene in about 15 minutes.
Evie, are you still here?
I'm still here.
Just because I already rolled it, I use 3 charges from the staff and give you back 30 hit points.
Why, thank you.